What distinguishes a business advisory board from a formal board of directors?
Okay, I think I can take that one. Three distinctions come to mind. I'm sure there are more than that. I think the major distinction is the authority of a board of directors versus the authority of an advisory board. A board of directors has the authority and is charged with the authority to run the day-to-day, make decisions that run the day-to-day business of a company. They have the authority to pass resolutions that affect how a company operates. Those resolutions are mandates to operate that way. Whereas a board of advisors, they're more a sounding board. They're people that bring different expertise to the table, and they give constructive feedback to the leadership management team. A second distinction is the liability. As a member of a board of directors, a board member can have liability for not acting with good business judgment and can be liable for that, whereas an advisory board member really is just giving their opinion, their advice, their constructive criticism. They are not taking any type of action where they would have any type of liability. The third distinction is how they are selected. A board of directors member is selected by the shareholders. There's a legal process. You go through a meeting of the shareholders and they elect the board of directors. Whereas an advisory board, they're selected usually by the leadership team, the CEO or the COO or the executive committee of a company. They'll select who they want to be on their advisory board. So I think those are three major distinctions.
Okay. But how do I get started putting a board together?
I'll kind of jump on that one. I would say the very first step, if this is a new topic, if you haven't thought of it, you haven't experimented, this is just something you're hearing for the first time, I guess I would suggest that maybe if you visualized this question, what keeps me up at night? So in your business dealings, what are the things? It could be succession planning, it could be growth acceleration, you could be facing a turnaround, you could be really starting to think about globalization or international expansion of your business. So whatever that is that might keep you up at night, maybe just jot down a few of those notes. And then the second question you'd ask yourself is, gee, who out there would I like to talk about with those questions? What sort of expertise is it that I would love to have come together once, twice, 3 times a year for my company and really kick those topics around? Obviously, as Nick mentioned earlier, an advisory board has no authority over the decisions that the management team makes. So this isn't about submitting to some board that's going to tell you how to run your company. So you're inviting people in that you would really like to have their expertise. I would suggest that you don't limit yourself geographically in thinking who you might want to have serve on your advisory board. With Skype and telecommunications, you literally have the world at your disposal, and think broadly then about what sort of expertise you'd love to invite in, even if it is electronically.
Well, what characteristics should you look for in that person being on an advisory board?
I think the most important characteristics is people that, again, and I mentioned it even in my first question, people that you trust, people that are strong enough, if you will, to be loyal to you. And obviously my definition would be loyal to challenge, to be candid, to sometimes push a thought that one of the key leaders may have, and really develop the kind of people. Obviously my bent is towards the quality of people, and I think the quality of your advisory board is commensurate or equal to the type of people that you have there, that have their only agenda to be part of your company in a positive way, in a way to support the key leadership, and really, again, inspire them. And that's the kind of people you want that you can trust to be very transparent and candid with you.
In terms of fitting the board, the size of the board and the makeup of the board to the company size, I would say almost any company of any size is a candidate to have an advisory board. Sometimes the smaller the better, because you really can't afford to have on your payroll certain amounts of expertise that you can bring very inexpensively to the table once or twice a year to help you steer the company, to give you feedback, test out ideas, gain from their wisdom. Obviously, if you're in the development stage, you're say 0 to 10 employees, your issues are going to be different than if you're at the mature stage with 1,000 employees. You may be more dealing with acquisitions and HR matters and legal issues at that larger size. So the themes and the topics are going to vary, but the applicability of the advisory board concept, I believe, pertains to companies of any size. I do think a key ingredient is that pace of growth that that company desires to set. The faster the growth rate, the more demand and need there are for that outside input to help you steer and avoid the potholes that are out there in the business world.
You want to have people on your board that are going to bring new expertise that you don't have, expertise that you really can't afford to have full-time on your staff. So I always think of people that have run successful businesses, people that you trust, people that you have respect for their advice and their knowledge, and I think those are the best to look for. Oftentimes you have executives that have retired, and they're looking to serve on boards. They have a wealth of knowledge. They've been down a lot of the roads you haven't been down. So I think that's what you want. You want to have someone that's going to supplement what you already have.